I paid a guy $500 a month, and that made me get up and go to the gym, and it made me work out, and it got me in really. I lost like 60 pounds. I was starting to get in really good shape. And again,
Yeah.
I won't even go do comedy if I have to drive, so I'm not going to do the gym.
Yeah.
Driving sucks the fun out of everything.
Yeah.
I was doing good coming over here, walking with you for a couple of years.
couple months.
Yeah, a couple
years
seemed
ago.
What felt like years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when I lost 20 pounds by starving myself, which is the only thing that's ever worked in my entire life.
Yeah.
Starving myself.
Well, you do. I mean,
to the point of abject misery and hating everybody and beating the shit out of my refrigerator with a broomstick. I did that. But that was because I was meal prepping.
What was the
making
refrigerator
a salad.
say to you first?
Yeah, I was making I was meal
What did
prepping
you say?
salad.
Acting like a bitch.
Yeah, I was meal prepping salad,
Yeah.
and a bottle of like vodka, because we were keeping all the alcohol on top of the refrigerator.
Right.
Just that time when I closed the refrigerator, decided to fall directly on the salad that I was making and make it fly all over my kitchen 5 minutes before I had to leave for work. So I just went and grabbed a broomstick and I just beat the shit out of my refrigerator. So you can still see the dents in there.
You can do violence when you're alone. You can do as much violence as you want.
The only problem with beating the shit out of inanimate objects is they don't scream and cry and beg you to stop when you're doing it. That would make it perfect.
You should go to the Smash Room. Ivy went to the Smash Room the other day.
Nice.
The escape room of breaking shit.
Yeah.
She loved it. And what's the overhead on that? You're not manufacturing a product.
No.
You got to pay for bills, AC, rent,
Right.
staff.
Right.
The shit is all garbage.
Right.
You get it from a junkyard.
Right.
And then you can say you're recycling all of it and get write-offs
Yeah.
after it's all smashed up.
Right.
And you get to let people do violence.
What a solid business idea. Mm-hmm. Well,
anything where you don't make it. It's church. You don't make a product. You just tell people
yeah.
they're bad.
I don't know. Church is expensive, though. Those buildings are, like, really ornate.
Well, they were going to run the AC for an hour on Sunday. Oh, no.
Well, there's operational costs, but there's setup costs, too, right? Like, that you got fucking stained glass.
1,000 years of lying to people.
You got the big cross and shit. Like, you got salaries to pay. Mm-hmm. Housing.
Yeah, those hard workers.
Lawsuits to.
Yeah, what if a piece of a
pastor
shard of glass
arrested.
flies into someone's eye? There's probably a
That was the Lord. That was Satan.
release form you have to sign, like not responsible.
Oh, you mean
for,
at the Smash Room thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
No, they had to wear
100%.
full hazmat, everything. They had to wear
Oh,
goggles.
really?
Yeah, they had to wear
Nice.
PPE.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, hey, it's the God Awful Gospel Hour. Sorry, we're not dead yet. Or no, sorry, we're not dead yet.
Sorry, we're not dead.
like
We're
Magnolia
trying.
Cafe.
We're
Sorry, we're
trying
open.
to die.
The customer is
but-
always wrong.
I mean, it's been a couple weeks. There's a. Sorry, we've been summer. We're going on vacation.
Yeah, we take
so
a
we're
winter
doing
break. We
things
take a
and-
summer break every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris,
that's
I saw
right.
your neighborhood in the news. SWAT
What
team in
happened?
the OC.
Oh,
It was on Flowers
Probably.
Avenue, Flower Street. Is that your hood?
Flowers, probably Santa Ana, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's in the OC.
Seems like a. Yeah.
They made
You
a
think I
new
lived
kind
in a
of,
place called Santa Ana, or.
You said you were in the OC.
Yeah, it was definitely in the OC.
They made a new kind of firebomb with a beer bottle. They're Negro Modelitovs.
Oh, Negro Modelitas. Yeah, I like those. Yeah. I just feel like it's like not a good use of Negro Modelo though.
Jesus, dude.
Like
What kind of
Negro Modelo?
loose lipped with that?
No, those were the 2020 riots with the Negro Molotovs.
Yeah.
These are actually like Mexican beer Molotovs because it's
Every one of those dudes looks
yeah,
like a Rage Against the Machine cover. They're standing on a car. Bullet in the head.
Oh, are you talking about in the just
The
in
LA
these-
one.
photos.
in these riots
Yeah.
generally? Yeah.
Have you seen an illegal immigrant? Have you ever met an illegal immigrant?
Oh,
Yeah, I used to know one.
absolutely.
yeah.
Where at?
Absolutely.
I mean, they didn't tell me they were illegal. If they were, I don't. How would you know?
I've known a lot of
Did you
these
check the
illegal
papers?
immigrants.
I mean, I probably had a bunch of them paint my house last year. Remember when that happened? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Yeah.
gonna come right out and go, "Hey, I'm not supposed to be
Yeah.
here."
Yeah. Well, when you become friends with people, they'll tell you, right?
Well, if you say, "I know my rights" to a cop, they usually read you your rights
Yeah.
as a funny joke.
Right.
They're like, "Oh yeah, I know your rights too. I
Yeah.
do this all day."
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Here they are. But if you're illegal and you say, "I know my rights," they're like, "No, you don't have any.
Yeah.
We can send you to another country for torture. We can outsource torture."
That's a relatively new development in the rights
In the
thing.
press, they've been doing that forever.
Yeah.
They've been shipping people off to get buggered since George Washington did it. To the illegal Irish immigrants.
Well, I think that-
disgusting, filthy.
Yeah, the disgusting Irish. Yeah, if only we could go back to that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've known people who've been here their whole life practically as illegal immigrants and have never been hassled by anybody. They live in their communities. They do their fucking thing. They don't break the law. They're good to go.
Yeah, just better stay out of airports and stuff because now they're like looking for you.
Yeah.
You know. But,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the whole thing seems to be so fucking. It's all TV. It's reality TV. It's almost like they're staging these raids.
Yeah.
So that they
Andor.
can have the protests.
Fomenting.
So that someone can throw a rock at a cop car.
Yeah.
So that Trump can send in the thing.
Yeah.
So that they can put it on the news. So that all the conservatives on Twitter can talk about how horrible the liberals are.
I already read
So that
this
the liberals
Choose Your
can
Own Adventure
screech
book.
that we're going into it's going to be Nazi Germany. So that the response it's just
Yeah.
things to keep people glued to
All the
screen.
headlines are, this
Yeah.
is how it begins.
Yeah.
Keeps
Yeah.
beginning over and over again. Nothing ever happens.
I
This is how it
watched
starts.
I watched on Sunday like a fair amount of it. So I went to a restaurant with my buddy and it was on there. I had no idea this was going on.
Should we go now? It's here.
And
we
then-
can go downtown.
Oh, I know there's protests.
They're
down.
shooting
Right.
people with tear gas last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's
Let's
not
do some
bad.
content.
Yeah.
Let's go be Channel 5.
Yeah.
Let's go be Andrew Callahan.
I'm going to
Just
tell you
interview
right now, my desire to be anywhere near any of that shit is
Yeah.
like
If I won't drive to comedy
Yeah,
or the
yeah,
gym,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
not going to go
Yeah.
drive to go get shot with a beanbag.
Yeah, I want that
I drove
less
all the way
than
downtown
you
for
want to
this.
get shot in the eye.
Is
Like,
there a chance of getting pussy? That's my whole thing. Like I could maybe,
dude, if you have
maybe
like,
I could impress some
Yeah.
like tattoo chick. You know,
dude, if you wear,
Tell her you don't like her tattoos.
if you
just
have
make
like a Free Palestine shirt, you will absolutely get
Yeah.
pussy down
Yeah.
there. You go down there, your Free Palestine shirt, it's done.
I just think like it's fascism, and
Yeah.
this is how it starts.
Dude,
and,
Donnie, you're making me wet.
Can
Yeah.
you believe? Can you believe what they did?
Can you believe what they
Can you
did?
believe that they accessed your thing in the
Yeah.
Elon thing or whatever? Do you know how Mexican jumping beans work?
No.
There's like little maggots in there
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a worm that's trying to get
Oh,
out.
right, yeah,
to avoid like getting too hot, so they jump in the heat.
right.
I was watching a video about it, and my phone didn't have any sound, and I was like, maybe this is just a silent video because I had a little text.
Right.
But I had the Bluetooth speaker upstairs hooked up to charge, and because it was hooked up for power, it automatically comes on when your phone triggers. Like
Oh, so you were connected to it. That's dangerous.
So my wife comes down the stairs and she's like, "What the fuck is going on with the Mexican jumping beans?" Because it was playing on the speaker super loud in the bedroom.
Oh, wow. Did you think that she was like, you guys were having like some ESP moment or something like that?
I was like, "I just found a new way to get my wife out of bed."
Oh.
Well, I was charging the
Donnie,
speaker.
where you at? Where you at?
Just accidentally charged the speaker
I
every
was
morning.
trying the entire time since you brought it up. I've been trying to make an like. They jump because they hear the ice is coming.
Right,
The-
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, the thing
Over the
like
wall.
that.
Yeah.
You
They can
know,
jump
like,
over the
yeah,
wall.
jumping. 'cause
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got protests.
They're
I don't
bringing
know.
the
It's been-
Redskins back. The Redskins are
it's-
going to be the Redskins again.
No, they're not.
They're reversing everything from the last 5 years. Why not
Well,
that?
he's gonna change Fort Hood back apparently because it's Fort Cavazos now.
Fort White Hood.
Oh, Fort Cavazos, huh?
Because
I did
Fort
not know
Hood, Fort Hood was named after a Confederate.
I thought it was named after a clit hood.
Yeah.
But apparently not.
Clan
man
Hood.
in the boat.
Yeah, Clan Hood, Clit Hood. So,
Guess I was wrong.
so
One of
he
those
is going to bring
immigrants is a
that.
little man in the
yeah,
boat.
no, he'll bring. If he could, he'd bring back Redskins. Stephen Miller would bring back the name Redskins.
Yeah.
if he could.
Oh, yeah.
time.
He seems like the type who would be into that.
Yeah,
It's
but
giving Redskins.
it's been like 4 weeks since Chris has been here.
Hey, what's up?
You went out of town again, and you did.
Oh, I went to
couple
Portland.
things.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that was pretty Portlandy.
yeah.
Dude, Portland's crazy. You know, it's like so beautiful there. It's so pretty there.
Mm-hmm.
The tree, they have like big ass pine trees, and it's all like that whole Northwest feel where it's
Yeah.
kind of like you're watching fucking Twin Peaks. There's waterfalls everywhere, and then there's like
giant homeless trash piles right in the middle.
9 billion times the amount of homeless
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
It's
there.
weird. It's so weird.
It's fucking weird, and also
They keep it weird.
it's extremely, extremely white. Like all these the folks up there who are talking about diversity shit. It's like I've
it's-
never been in a more white fucking
It's
place
like
than
Australia.
Yeah, it's-
Australia's all
fucking-
mad about
yeah.
racism now. I'm like, you guys have one race.
this. Right? Yeah.
Austin, second only to Portland.
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy to love black people when you don't live near any of them. Like you don't you have to hear them talking in theaters or get tipping badly or
I said this last show. America's racist because we have all of them. So we're more aware than anyone else of the differences.
right.
The reason
out your window.
why
Right,
black
yeah.
people are so racist to Asians is because they live by them and they get to deal with them.
Yeah.
Speaking of black people, did
And
you
I guess
hear-
the vice versa, right? It's like if
Right,
I'm
yeah.
I guess if I'm around somebody who's culturally different than me all the time,
Right.
different ones. There's definitely culture shock, and there's definitely like you're gonna see the bad aspects of a different culture,
Yeah.
and it's gonna start getting annoying, and you're gonna start making little comments about it.
Right.
That's what's gonna happen.
Dude, like my dad when when Iran the whole like Iran situation back in the 80s happened, a bunch of Iranians, Persian folks moved to Orange County, like a lot. And we were at the beach on 4th of July in like 1984, 1985, and there was dudes barbecuing tomatoes, and my dad was fucking outraged. He was so mad. He's like, "What the fuck is this? It's 4th of July!" Like he was not actually.
He's
nice,
Italian.
but
The
yeah.
tomatoes are supposed to be fresh, cut, cold, deli style. What the fuck are you cooking a tomato
Yeah,
for?
what do you got that tomato on the skewer
Fucking
for?
ridiculous.
Hey,
Fucking
hey.
faggots.
It's supposed to be making gravy with that.
Hey, bada fucking bing.
Sauces on Sundays only.
The fuck is wrong with you?
Pretty much, yeah. I always remember as a kid, I'm like, oh yeah, those brown people are bad.
Well, I've told both of you guys that
Danny
like
said.
in high school or in elementary school, we lived in the upper middle class white area, and then we got sent to the middle school that was kind of on the north side of town, and that's where we first met all the Mexican kids. And my dad was dropping my brother off at 6th grade in front of the school, and he goes, "Wow, there sure are a lot of Mexican kids at your school." And my brother goes, "Yeah, and I hate every single one of them."
Supposed to say it out loud, Dustin. Jesus.
But I will say, and I think I've said it on this before, that after that initial culture shock wore off, I have always made friends with and gotten along with every different demographic.
Well, thank you
I've
for your
always had
service.
black friends. I've always had Hispanic friends. I've always had Asian friends and all that kind of stuff. And I think it's because I think it
gay
helps
friend.
to be honest that like, hey, yeah, we're different. Sometimes you guys are retarded. And
Yeah.
sometimes I'm retarded.
Yeah.
I'm going to bust your balls just as much as you bust my balls. That's how you get along. You don't put them on a pedestal and worship the ground that they walk on.
Yeah.
And act like they can't do anything for themselves because they're so oppressed, and that soft bigotry of low expectations and all that shit. That's not how you connect with people.
Yeah.
But
You,
you
look
better
at
not
them
do
as
that.
equals,
You better not use the dark thumbs up, though, on Teams. That's
Yeah.
not for you.
Well, that's
You have to use the
yeah.
yellow Simpsons thumb.
yeah, those are the people who
Default.
don't have any black friends, the ones
Yeah.
who complain to you about using the dark-skinned thumbs
Right.
up. You know,
Right. Yeah.
If somebody dark thumbs ups me, can I dark thumbs up them back if they're dark as a tribute to their? I'm celebrating their culture.
Well, that might be talking black to a black person.
I'm not
If you
yellow
don't
either.
know
I'm not
them yet.
Chinese.
Yeah,
Why do I
that's-
got to use the yellow one? I'm not a Simpson. Nothing matches my pallor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Denzel Washington is rumored to be playing Magneto in the X-Men reboot.
No.
It's gonna be Malcolm X-Men.
How is he going to be Jewish? How can were there
Yeah,
black
that's his
Jews?
whole. No,
in
he's
the,
gonna be a slave. It'll probably be
black
that.
Jews?
They'll
Yeah.
turn it into some other form of oppression.
Yeah. Did you watch? You never watched any of the X-Men, did you? Or did you watch those? Wow.
No.
You know who Psylocke is?
No. I'm culturally defunct, gentlemen. You know this.
Psylocke
What
is
do
hot.
You're what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
I don't watch any of that shit anymore because it all sucks. So
Well, you need to get Alzheimer's first or dementia or some
Yeah,
shit
yeah,
because you have
I
to
know.
forget all
I
that
know
shit.
I have to like go under some type of experimental
Procedure. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, where I'm trying to get to. I
Just
would like to
severance.
be ignorant of all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on until like either you guys or somebody else tells me what's going on, and then sometimes I'm forced to like look at it.
Yeah.
Like when I saw that shit happen in LA the other night, I went home immediately and turned on Fox News. I'm like, I
You
gotta
find
know
out what's really going
I
on.
gotta know
Yeah.
what fucking Fox News is saying about this shit.
That's a fun malicious
I
compliance.
need to know the truth about this.
Yeah.
So I went directly to Newsmax. I had to make sure.
I went straight to Truth Social,
Yeah.
clicked on all the links that were popping up first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If somebody asks for special treatment, that's the only time you go, I don't see color. Like if they're trying to get equal opportunity, you're
Right.
like, actually, I don't
No,
recognize
right.
any other.
Yeah.
They're trying to celebrate culture, and
Yeah.
you're like, I don't see any of it.
I don't do that.
You just
yeah, I'm
only do it when
colorblind.
they're asking for extra shit.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not aware of.
Otherwise,
I was telling Donnie about that. Next time somebody asks you to look something up on your phone,
yeah.
you go, actually, I'm trying to cut down on my screen time.
Right. Yeah.
Only when someone asks you to
Yeah,
use your phone
yeah,
for their
yeah,
shit.
Exactly.
Like, actually, I'm really working on myself right now.
Yeah. I have this buddy. I don't know if we could call him a buddy. Anyway, he was over at my house and he was telling me how he's going to get in shape, and he was buying one of those mirrors. You know, the mirror
That talks to you, and it's
that
like
talks
got a
to
trainer
you.
that works out
Yeah,
with
yeah.
you and stuff.
Yeah, so it's
Jack
just-
Handy.
It's like a big ass mirror, and you can like program. You can like turn on different like workouts, and then you stand in front of the mirror, and it talks to you, and
Okay.
you can see yourself and the thing in the mirror. And I was like, "Oh wow!" And he's like, "Yeah, it's like at the time it was like $3 or $4 grand. It was really expensive."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yep, finally doing something for me." And I was like, "That's the gayest fucking thing you've ever said."
Everything you do is for
Everything
yourself.
you
All
do
that-
is for you. Yeah.
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
shit that I eat that makes me fat, that's for me too.
That's for you.
Yeah, just
Right?
for
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm doing this for me.
I feel like
But, it's funny that somebody's saying, I'm going to get the mirror and I'm going to get in shape, to you who has like, weights and all that stuff in your garage.
Yeah, yeah.
It's almost like the Simpsons scene where he's like, I'm all by myself and do whatever I want. I've got a race. I sleep in
I
a race
sleep
car.
in a race car bed.
Well, I sleep in a bed
big-
with my wife.
Dude, that's the best fucking episode. The Can I Borrow a Feeling
Yeah,
episode.
can I borrow? I need to watch that again. It's been too long.
When
to
the
watch
chick
that.
steals his car and she's driving away, he's like, "No!" And she throws the tape out, and Homer's like, picks up the tape. It's like the lowest moment. And Homer picks up the tape. He's like, "Can I borrow a feeling?" And it just starts fucking cracking up.
Luann, can I borrow a penis?
Can you lend me a smile?
Speaking of which, yesterday I really realized I have to find a new woman, because I
got dirty clothes, or
I told
Yeah.
myself, I was like, I was making my bed because normally my maids do that for me,
Oh,
but I
no.
forgot they were coming yesterday, so I woke up too late and I washed my sheets and they were still like in the dryer when the maids left, so I had to do my own bed. Normally they do it for me, and so I was putting it on and I realized that my bedspread basically has holes in it from whenever I was keeping Dustin's dog Lucy.
Oh, yeah.
And she jumped up on it and her claws poked holes through it. And I was like, I need a new duvet cover.
Oh god.
But I didn't even say it that way. I said, looks like a new duvet cover's in order.
Oh boy.
And then I immediately wanted to beat the shit out of
The
myself.
Yeah.
French Duke in the
yeah.
top of his
Yeah.
ivory tower.
And then I was like,
Oh,
I
man.
have
This
to.
fucking guy.
I
This
need
is how I
a.
shake my duvet out with my pinkies up.
I need a woman around here.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
God.
should walk up and down SQ behind the 7-Eleven off Brody.
Yeah.
There's
There's a
hot
lot of-
girls there
lot
every
of-
day. Whenever I drive the kids to school, I was taking Boy on the last week, and I was
Yeah.
like, let's slow down and look at this girl's ass. And he was like, okay. And I was like, don't tell mom and your sister.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay. I was like, they would get mad. But, I mean, she didn't dress like Psylocke because she didn't want us to look at her. Both pussy lips. You could see all of it. It was like whistling at
It's
us.
those damn yoga pants, the
Every
workout
step.
pants that they wear. They're like every cleave of the buttock
Yeah.
must
Oh,
be
yeah.
visible.
Yeah, they're
shaped.
It is nice.
It's like
that.
they're wearing X-Men spandex pants.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I'm not complaining.
No.
Um,
No.
But
No
yeah,
complaints
I wonder,
here.
But you didn't get dressed like that because you didn't want attention.
Right.
Because you can walk in basketball shorts and a T-shirt and be comfortable.
you can be like the lesbians across the street. They don't walk in revealing. They walk in dude clothes.
Right.
You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you're basically naked.
Yeah.
You walk up behind them and criticize their form walking. You're not walking right. That's what dudes do at the gym.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah,
form
that-
is off.
Oh man,
Form
that
is off.
See how
dude.
I walk? Walk
Yeah.
like this.
I tell you what,
Mansplain walking.
Mansplained walk.
that is how you just get them to start gushing, man. Like, you're not walking right.
You're not walking.
Yeah, do you want to film
It's
this
either
for your
that or you
TikTok?
walk up
me criticizing
behind
you?
them and you go, "Can I borrow a feeling?"
Can I borrow?
Oh, you're not walking right.
I sleep in a race car bed.
Want to come sleep in my race car bed with me? I just start figuring out
over fast.
There was a race car bed in Grandma's Boy too.
Yeah. That was whenever Nick Swartzen. He keeps calling his parents his roommates.
Yeah, his roommates.
Yeah.
And what's his name comes on his mom.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah, Audrey Scott was over here. She'd never seen Grandma's Boy. We were like, it's right up your alley.
Yeah,
it's right up your alley. You've got to watch it.
I mean, I only know her from hearing her on the podcast, but it seems like that would be her kind of fucking thing.
She's cool.
Yeah. She's into that.
Did you see the race car trailer with Brad Pitt? The F1 movie? It's on everything.
I mean, maybe, probably. I don't know.
I'm going to beat the competition just like I beat my wife and kids all up and down that airplane. I can't wait to beat people in racing. I love to beat everyone.
Yeah. I have heard through the grapevine that Brad Pitt is actually gay. Shocker.
What?
I have a friend who
he
has a
beat his
friend.
wife up because he's mad.
I have a friend who has a Hollywood friend who says, yeah, he's been gay the whole time.
I mean, that seems about right.
Yeah, I mean, he's an actor.
He's got the look of a gay.
Yeah.
Nazis are homosexuals. They
He's
got
too
no
pretty.
humanity.
He's too pretty to be straight.
I want them scalps. I want my homosexual scalps.
He's too attractive.
So, Josh, did you hear that me and Donnie became BFFs while you were gone? We hung out twice.
Yeah. You guys started a band.
Yeah, we started a band.
Yeah, the Flaming Thunderbirds.
Yeah, the Flaming. Sure.
Did you guys record anything?
No,
we got a
sound.
We talked
you got a
about
sound
it.
going.
We talked about it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're probably going to go over to when Dylan's back from Japan. We're probably going to go check out the studio and do some stuff. And I have, we have.
I wasn't
things
gone. I was
that can be
here.
recorded.
I was home.
Well, you were in the first time when he came over here with his brand new amp. You were in. in Port Aransas. But,
I didn't know you were home this weekend. I would have told you to come over.
It's called Pork a Man's Ass.
I didn't know that y'all were back until.
Yeah, wasn't getting updates.
Oh,
Josh.
I saw
no pictures from the beach. No updates when you arrived home.
Yeah, you got to get on Instagram.
No, I don't fuck around.
I think I thought I saw Kristen in the parking lot at Randall's, and in the car, and then
not likely. She would have had to get out of bed to go to Randall's.
Keep that finger at the ready. It's been a while.
No, I was thinking how many of these were going to be getting out today.
Yeah,
but then you guys started messaging me.
No, I want to come. You guys want to do some shoegaze? I like to play shoegaze guitar. You feel like doing
he can play piano too.
Yeah,
he's a pianist.
I don't care.
Pianist.
It seemed like a fun two-guy thing. It's weird to be three guys in a room fucking with guitars.
No, I don't think so. I think it's fine.
Okay.
Well, because I had the bass, the guitar, the piano. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff. So.
And no interruptions from the wife? How many hours did you get in?
We got like 2 hours.
Yeah, we got like 2
played for a couple hours. We went
Nobody
through.
got AIDS and died during this.
The only thing that interrupted us was Jacob came home from his interview at Chick-fil-A, and and I was like, "Oh, hey, how'd the interview go?" And then we were talking about the interview. By the way, he did not get the job at Chick-fil-A.
I wonder if it's because I told him to say my
pleasure. They're like,
pleasure.
"Thanks for
when
coming in
said
today."
thank
And he said, "My pleasure." And they're like, "You're hired."
Yeah.
That's what I tried to do. He was leaving, and I was like, "Oh, by the way, with Chick-fil-A, anytime somebody says thank you, you have to say my pleasure." And he's like, "Okay." And then he comes back. He said, "She only said thank you once, and when she did, I said my pleasure."
Nice.
And I was like, "Oh, good job."
They're
and I'm like,
so
"Now I'm like,
sick of that.
did they think he was mocking them?"
Yeah,
Stupid
my
bastard.
pleasure, bitch. Yeah,
My pleasure, idiots.
The job market must be real bad if you can't even get a job at Chick-fil-A as a white 18-year-old man.
yeah. I don't know. I've been very me and Kristen are kind of like not talking right now because apparently, I'm a huge asshole because I've been annoyed at him for not having a job. It's the second week of summer. I want the fucking kid to have a job.
I love how they punish
Does
you
he
by
wanna have a
making
job?
you
Sounds
not
like he
hear
wants to have
women.
a
He
job.
wants to have a job, yes, but like there's like wanting to have a job, and then there's like doing all of the
Things
like
that-
things required to have a job, right? And so I'm trying really hard to like encourage him and push him, and also like sit with him and try and teach him how to get a fucking job. It's something I know something about since I have a job. Unlike other people in the house who don't have a job.
Back when I was your age, I worked in the jerk-off room at the water park.
It works, yeah.
I was handling the pumps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I did.
What was your first job?
Well, my first thing that I did to get money was umpire.
Okay.
I umpired at like maybe 13.
Yeah, I had friends that did that.
But then like my first real like W-2 kind of job was Subway.
Okay.
But I also taught music theory at my piano teacher. I think I was telling you about that. And I also worked at a Pepsi warehouse under the table. That was fucking dope because that was $15 an hour.
Oh yeah.
Back in like 94.
like an illegal.
Like an illegal.
Yeah. Awesome. No taxes.
No taxes. I just got $15 an hour straight up.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about y'all?
What was yours, Josh?
Yeah, I put distributed Christmas tree flyers on doorknobs for like $10 a door. That's how I bought my first skateboard.
A dime
And
a
I
door.
still wasn't allowed to buy one with a skull on it, even though it was my money.
Yeah. Hey, you really were Bart Simpson, weren't you?
Yeah.
Dude, like the Mike McGill, is that what you want? What did you want with a skull on it? Any Pal Peralta?
Tommy Guerrero. Tommy Guerrero was the only one I was allowed to
yeah.
get because of his dagger.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't any skulls.
What did you want though?
I wanted the Tony Hawk.
The Tony
And that was a
Hawk,
fucking bird skull. It's not
Yeah.
even a man skull.
Right.
Cab was the best because the dragons were cool.
Oh, Steve. Yeah.
I ended up
was
getting a
pretty
Sims, a Jeff Phillips Sims, and he was a Satan worshiper who killed himself.
Oh.
So good job, parents. The same parents that wouldn't let me buy Prince records, but
Yeah.
let me get Michael Jackson because Prince is gay.
Look, man, it all makes a ton of sense. A ton of sense.
Yeah.
It's all starting to come together.
So you put flyers on doors for Christmas tree lots.
Yeah, and then I worked at Parcel Plus. It was a shipping place doing like UPS and stuff.
Yeah.
When I was 15, I had to get a work permit.
I had to do that too. Yeah. So I want to know
Oh
what
my
Donnie's
God, I can't
is.
wait to work. I'm so bad.
Yeah.
To go start now at 15. Oh, I can't wait.
I mean, working when you're 15 is dope though, because you get to hang out with chicks who you don't normally get to hang out with. They're forced to hang out with you. That's like an important part of it.
It fucked me up. Because then I stopped listening at school and church and home. I was like, you guys aren't paying me.
Yeah.
Why do I have to listen to any adults that don't pay me
Yeah.
anymore?
Yeah.
Give me money or shut up.
Yeah.
What
That's,
are you doing?
yeah. I know. I fell into that trap too. I like getting paid. What would you do?
So,
Donnie?
well,
What
the
was your
first thing I did where I actually got a paycheck is I filed shit at my dad's accounting firm, at their CPA firm or whatever. And then that summer, I worked for like 2 or 3 months that summer, and I used the money to buy a PlayStation because Final Fantasy VII was coming out. And when he found out I bought a PlayStation, he got mad at me, of course, because he's a retard about video games.
Because dads are pissed.
Yeah.
That's the default.
Is he still a retard about video games? He seems
Well,
like he's probably fine.
He doesn't necessarily like them, and he likes to jokingly blame them for everything that wrong with us, you know.
Oh, right.
But I'm like,
It wasn't his parenting.
Dad,
it was the video
games are why I'm not living off of you now. Video games are why I got into computers and why I am now. I literally am the internet. You know?
Right. Yeah.
But then
I learned it by not watching you, Dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
and then I went and my first real job was right when I turned 16. I went and I worked at Putt Putt. And I worked at Putt Putt until I graduated and moved away, and then came back and worked at Putt Putt that year. I flunked out of college and came back for a few months.
What'd you do at Putt Putt? You like man the
Everything.
batting cages?
I mean, there was
and
like
shit, or?
there was like 7 of us that worked there. I mean, there was the manager that
Same
opened
thing
the
you did at
place
the water
and counted
park.
the money.
Jerk guys off in the pipe.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I
got
would.
that down.
I mean, I sold the stuff, and we of course this was whenever every high school kid had their thing, where taken off the top. So if somebody came in and they wanted $5 in game tokens, I could take their $5 and I could give them $5 in game tokens and then just not ring it up.
Right.
Putt Putt Corporate has
Yeah.
been fucking the little man
Yeah,
for decades.
yeah.
And it's time to take it back.
Yeah.
It's time to take the power back.
Every kid had I had a friend who worked at the cookie place in the mall,
Yeah.
and him and his mom even were taking money off everybody had something. The guys who worked at Babbage's at the GameStop, the video game
yeah.
stuff, they were basically taking brand new video games and just throwing them out the back door, and then coming around and getting them
They had
later.
the key to take the clear bracket off
Yeah,
of it. So they could
everybody
get the
had
discount.
something. No, we didn't. We weren't crazy. We didn't go crazy and we didn't commit any felonies, right?
We did at Best Buy. Matt went to jail.
Yeah, yeah. His friend went to jail. He didn't work at Best Buy. Or did he work at Best Buy? Yeah.
He was unloading the trucks. He put games in the bushes, and we went back
Yeah.
later and sold it. Well, someone may or may not have gone back later
Someone.
and sold those games to Toys R Us for Jerry dollars,
Yeah.
and then bought DVDs with it.
Yeah.
What sold to Toys R Us for what?
Jeffrey dollars. The Toys R Us
like
Oh,
credit.
that's like
Yeah,
store
yeah.
credit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they were taking Best Buy video games
Yeah.
and turning them into Toys R Us currency, and getting whatever you want from Toys R Us.
I did-
Candy, DVDs.
All kinds of things, and then I got a second job in high school at Hastings. And we've talked about Hastings before.
yeah.
And I just did the registers there. I always want to work in like the music section or whatever, but I never got to. I worked at a movie theater. I worked at Mr. Gaddy's for a while. I worked at the hospital in Abilene in the pharmacy, ordering the things that we needed in the pharmacy at the hospital.
Like the drugs or or
the
supplies?
The drug, everything that the hospital required from the pharmacy, we were the orderers for.
Wow.
And I was making a lot of money, but I could not get up to be at work at 7 o'clock in the morning to save my life. I was always late, and eventually I just stopped showing up.
Yeah.
And that was about the time I was moving back down here anyway. So I was like, I don't even care.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had a bunch of different jobs, but my first one was Putt Putt.
That's cool. Yeah,
and I worked there so long. It was so easy.
That seems like an ideal kind of thing. I mean, like, I don't know. I liked working at Subway because again, you're like, there were girls from different schools there. Yeah. Like, that was an attractive thing to me. I met girls who I like.
Eat fresh tomatoes. Don't fucking cook them on the beach.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Fresh.
I told him. I was like,
you need to change your slogan.
You put those things on the fucking grill and we're done.
Hire a pedo and eat fresh is a good slogan. Starting now. Yeah. So let me ask you this: how do you feel about seeing gay guys kiss in public?
I don't really care about it.
Irk you at all?
No.
I saw it and it made me feel weird, but I think it was just a general PDA thing. I don't like seeing anyone kiss in public.
Sure, yeah.
You kiss your wife in public?
It's a little not like fucking.
If she
porno
initiates
kiss.
it, I'll be like, okay.
Not porno kiss.
I'm not trying to.
I'd be into watching like two hot chicks kiss in public.
Yeah, right.
Two hot women. I'd be like, okay with that. I'd be like, all right.
Yeah, you want to do that?
Take
you
out
do
my
that
phone
all day, right? Take out my dong. Yeah, no, I don't know. I think if it's gratuitous, I'm not into it. With except for the two hot chicks.
It feels more gratuitous, maybe because it's Pride Month. But if I see two gay guys kiss, they're like obviously holding a protest sign to the man, like we're kissing.
I don't have a problem.
Everybody, look.
I don't have a problem seeing gay guys do anything except kiss. When two men kiss, it looks wrong.
Right.
When two guys are sucking each other's dicks, it's fine.
Yeah.
But whenever they're kissing, I'm like, wait, no, that's not supposed to happen.
No, you're not supposed to be like sweet. You're supposed to just want to like get your fucking nut off.
No.
Yeah,
when that's where it's leading.
Yeah.
I saw two guys kissing under the bridge. They were homosexuals.
That's nice.
Look, what you and your boyfriend do under a bridge with some duct tape and Vaseline and Quikrete is none of my business.
That's your thing. Yeah.
I was thinking
I don't care about guys walking down the street holding hands, arms around each other, fingers up each other's asses.
No,
that
right.
matters.
And then in their
kissing.
mouth and then back in their ass. Yeah,
that's just normal.
Just kissing,
that's
but
what
kissing,
you expect.
But
kissing
that turns me off. Yeah, I don't. Also, but
like two guys making out, like sitting on a couch, just like tongue kissing. That's weird, man.
Yeah, no one.
Now, bending him over, spreading his ass cheeks. just
giving him the fucking
lubing it up with just spit,
giving him the ride of his fucking life.
Absolutely fine. But if he turns around and he fucking kisses him at the end of it, what the fuck?
The pleasantries out of the way.
What the hell?
That's gross. That is just
unnatural.
Gross.
It's unnatural for two men to kiss each other on the lips.
Well, I was thinking about this because
I'm disgusted by that.
Yeah.
But if he wants to kiss him on his butthole lips, that's fine.
Tongue his asshole all day long.
All day long. You have at it.
You got to get in there. No, I was thinking about this because I was my buddy got a blowjob.
And you were kissing
on New Year's from a guy a long time ago. But they were drunk. It was New Year's. They were watching Cinemax. It was a straight guy and a gay guy. And he was like,
"No, that's two gay guys' job."
Yeah, because he let a guy suck his dick.
Right. There's no me being like, "Oh, it's New Year's. We're watching Cinemax. Go for it."
I was trying to reckon with it. Like, how does this happen from just normal hanging out? Like, I've never been hanging out with a guy and felt horny and not thought, instead of I'm going to go jerk off by myself, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a guy do it to me.
I know.
It's not better than jerking yourself off. Be gay on yourself.
I think we all wish that we could get down with that because then life would be easy.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, if all three of us were gay, we would all get to fucking blow our load
there wouldn't
with
be a
another
podcast
person,
happening.
right? Yeah, exactly.
Like on demand too, like on a whim.
Right.
Yeah. Now, like even whenever you're like in a relationship with a woman, sometimes you can't even just go on a whim.
No.
They're like, no, I feel gross. Like that. You know, it's like
I just took a shit.
All that kind of stuff. Yeah. I'm
Did your
sweaty.
pussy take a shit? I don't give
fat.
a shit. Yeah.
I was thinking about an elderly gay couple where like they have arthritis or carpal tunnel and you can't jerk yourself off. But you can jerk someone else off because the angle's better for your wrist.
Like you can't do this, but you can
That's
do that.
a reason to be gay.
Yeah,
if you can't jerk yourself off anymore, because you did it so much that you fucked up your carpal tunnel.
I feel like there's like a Jeff Foxworthy like
if
thing.
you
Yeah.
are 70, those guys join a Rotary Club together for old guys with AIDS called American Legion. The American Legion Club.
That's cute. I like that. I don't like Pride. I don't like I don't like the sin of Pride, but I also don't like the month and the whole thing around it.
It's not like they don't act prideful the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Where they're very out about it.
Right.
I like it because I get to make fun of it. I get to shit post about it. I get to mock
If you're gonna have
corporations.
Pride Month, shut up the other 11 months about it.
Yeah.
But this year they backed off. A lot of brands are not doing the virtue signaling. They're not doing the rainbow shit everywhere. They're not doing the virtue signaling social media posts and all that. And really, if out of everybody, I think that I'm the victim here.
Yeah.
I am the one who suffers the most whenever there's not Pride celebrations because then I can't laugh and make fun of how disingenuous.
Well, you're the one having it shoved down your throat.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
The vagenda.
The vagenda.
So I'm tired of having the vagenda shoved down my throat.
Yeah.
I don't think that they should do anything about it in school. I don't think they should have Pride shit in school.
No.
Maybe in health class.
It has to do with children's genitals.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to talk. Adults are not allowed to address children's genitals ever.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what value does it have in school? Like, what's the thing where it's like I'm not saying that in health class that there shouldn't be
like, hey, here's what these are the things that exist, like that kind of stuff. But the whole celebrating of it,
of sexuality,
yeah. Well, I think that there's still that's still a lot of reaction to how it was for a long time.
No doubt. And it's fine also in history class to like acknowledge that, right? To be like, oh yeah, like there was a time in this country not that long ago where fucking Jim Crow and this, that, and the other thing. But like, that's not today. And we don't need to have, like, I get it. You want kids to feel like, oh, like I have a place, I belong. But like, it doesn't really, talking about like sexuality with children at school doesn't really have a place. I think it's fucking weird.
The urge for significance is a human weakness. That's why, like, there's men's landscaping associations and prayer groups. There's just jerk off each other fests.
Yeah.
You have the same job as me, so let's meet at a hotel and say how great you are.
Yeah.
That you've been doing this for so long.
Let's go to a
They're not
convention.
fucking Nobel Peace Prize
symposium.
winners. Every kid wants to be the rarest Pokemon or be special somehow or be significant. I watched your telepathy tapes thing.
Oh, you did?
On YouTube
let's
today.
get into it, yeah.
Those parents want their kids to have fucking superpowers.
Yeah, of course they do.
That's why they're, and it's very convincing. You can convince yourself that your kid is special.
Yeah.
I think my kids are great. I think they're better
I don't
than
think my
everyone
kids are
else's
great.
kids.
I think my kids are worse than
I think
those
we've been over this before. You're like, I like my kids. Well, I don't like my kids. I think they're idiots.
Yeah. I like your kids way more than I like my kids.
Josh, when Josh has the best video that is the perfect illustration of his kids. He was what you guys were like walking across a bridge and you saw a heron or something and you were like, ooh, it's gonna fly away, so I'm gonna pull out my phone and record its graceful flight. And right as soon as it starts flying around, his daughter goes, what the fuck?
It's on the god awful TikTok. Everyone.
Nice.
Yeah, but that's the epitome of the two of you. Is like, my kids are great, my kids are dumb.
Yeah, that I feel like that's me and Josh generally about things. Like,
I
Josh
think your kids are great. I like your kids.
You do?
So far.
Well, I think you're dumb.
Done anything to me yet? I think I'm dumb. I'm gonna fight for dumb rights. I didn't choose this.
Yeah,
I was born this way.
Yeah, God damn it!
My own flag. That's a circle shaped.
Dude,
I don't even know how to do flags right.
They need to put like a dumb stripe on the gay flag.
Yeah. It's all of them.
LGBT.
They're all dumb.
All of it. They're like, no. The dumbness is
dumb,
just
dumb,
encoded in the whole thing.
Red, dumb, orange, dumb.
Whenever I see an old school pride flag, I'm like, okay, I'm okay with that.
I'm the same way. Like, I'm like, all we needed was the rainbow.
Yeah.
The rainbow is every color, every possible combination.
Right.
Of
Lucky Charms.
Right.
We don't have to have the trans and the black and the brown and the yellow with the circle. I think that's asexuals or something.
Yeah, and
every single freaking Pokemon.
That's not a delicious marshmallow.
We don't need
for the
the
Lucky
pastel
Charms.
colored blue.
Nobody wants a
whatever.
brown marshmallow in their Lucky Charms.
No,
Gross.
that's true.
We don't need the Snorlaxes and the Pikachus and the
Beige
Charizards,
queefs.
and
Purple
we don't need
hearts
all
and
those
beige
different
queefs.
ones.
No. It just needs to. Yeah, it didn't
I
have to be one color for every potential thing. The whole thing with the flag was that it represented the spectrum of possibilities.
We just need to make it
It's
a
good
gradient
enough.
now.
Yeah.
A gradient.
Just like a
every color.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just from black all the way to white.
Yeah.
With the
That's
whole
what it
rainbow in
is.
between.
I mean, that's kind of what
And
it is,
nobody
right?
can complain.
Yeah.
You're the faggot in the beige part with orange in it.
What kind of faggot are you?
Yeah,
I-
it
I'm that
overlaps
kind of
with the
faggot.
mental health spectrum.
Yeah.
You
And
just have
also
to pick where you are.
They all overlap with the mental health spectrum.
and also the letters.
Yeah.
We have too many letters and numbers and all and symbols now.
Yeah.
LGBTQIS plus. And then there's 2S for the bullshit two-spirit thing and all that.
Isn't Elon Musk's kid in there somewhere?
Yeah.
Just
GXAE
sideways.
Ash.
Just-
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
one symbol for that kid.
So I finally figured out which symbol of all of that I am. The little up arrow, the carrot.
I'm better than you.
You know the
greater
that one,
than.
yeah. And it's not that. It's the
the
little up
I know.
tiny little up arrow,
yeah.
the carrot. Right?
I know what you mean. The carrot.
That's my
yeah.
symbol,
Yeah.
and it means that I'm only attracted to people who are more attractive than me.
Oh, you're
Oh,
dating.
yeah.
That's my sexual.
Yeah.
Marry up.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have to. I can't. I'm
punch
not
down
attracted
and
to
marry
anyone.
up.
Yeah,
Punch
right.
down,
Punch
marry
down,
up.
marry up. Yeah.
Hey, that should
That's the god awful motto.
dude.
I think.
Punch down and marry up. I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that's great. Donnie, what are you going to do to find yourself a wife now? What do you? I feel like
I don't know. Like I'm so old and out of it. Every single time I've since COVID, every single time I've maybe kind of gotten close to something, it gets like just snatched away or
So just
fizzles
order a
out
girl
or
from
whatever.
the Ukraine.
So
Order a bitch from the
I
Ukraine. You
might
can hold
have
it
to
over
do-
her head the whole
Yeah.
rest of her life. I brought you
Yeah.
out of the war.
I brought you out of the war.
You would be dead.
dumb slut.
If I-
yeah.
They're hot. They're all on the side of the road. They're prostitutes over there.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm just gonna have to start going to like, and I don't like going to bars because I can't drink it the way I used to anymore. Because like I'm 2 beers and I have a headache.
You're
the
not
next day.
to meet a good 40-something-year-old chick at a bar anyway.
Well, that's the other thing is that girls my age are too old for me. I need one that's probably about 12 years. I need one
12
of her.
years old.
12 years old,
I need
younger than me.
I need a good
Old.
12-year-old.
Yeah.
Scotch.
Donnie's Donnie's moving to Thailand.
Yeah. No, I need one in her early 30s.
I think the only kind of woman
Yeah.
you could get along with is one you can order around. And That
Yeah.
means you have to order her from the internet.
Yeah, that the
From a
robots
war-torn
and bring her
place.
around to your
Yeah.
house.
the
and then you can
Android
tell her what
women
to do.
don't
Yeah.
exist yet.
Yeah.
They're not passing the uncanny
Yes,
valley yet.
Baked in guilt and sense of
Maybe I'll just
ownership.
start going over to Lala's and asking women if I can borrow a feeling.
Yeah.
Can I borrow a feeling?
You're not walking right.
You're not walking right.
Shake your ass more. Smile. You.
I'm gonna make you not walk right.
Donnie had a funny bit about all the compliments we're not supposed to give women, and if they gave them to him, how great it would be. Like
Yeah.
If a woman said, Donnie, if you smiled more, you'd be more handsome. He'd be like, well, thanks.
Fucking A, I'm gonna smile more.
Valuable input. I'm
Yeah,
going to use that.
Right.
That shirt makes your breasts look really nice, Donnie.
If I could be catcalled, I would remember it for the entire rest of my life.
Your
Yeah,
chest.
dude.
It makes your
Yeah.
chest look good.
The problem is that anytime a girl has really come on to me, I'm so retarded. I mean, like there have been times where, whenever it's like if it's like prearranged that like, hey, we're gonna try this out.
Right.
But if it's just in public or randomly, a woman has actually like made a pass at me. I don't realize it until
Yeah.
I get home, and I'm like, God damn it!
Yeah.
There's tons
Fuck
of stories
me.
like that.
Yeah.
I'm so like oblivious in the moment. It's really hard,
Yeah, totally. I know. I got on Jacob's ass about it because he was at a football game last year, and this girl tapped him on the shoulder, and she's like, "Hey, my friend thinks you're really cute. Could she get your phone number?" And he said that he thought that they were like clowning
Playing
on
a prank.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he said that like finally like he looked back and the girl looked like super upset and she got up and like left.
Aw.
Because there's like cringe TikToks of fake asking for numbers and then telling the guy, fuck you.
Yeah. Well, he was worried about that, and I was like, okay, so
Yeah, you
let
don't
me
wanna
ask
be
you
on
this: what happens? You get owned
You
by
get pussy or you get famous forever on TikTok for being a dork. Either
Yeah.
way, that's pretty cool.
You get
probably
you
DM'd the
get
shit out of
embarrassed. You follow her home. You climb into
You
her
fucking
window.
kill her.
You fucking murder her.
Yeah.
They don't know who you are
Right.
as long as you don't leave any DNA behind. You wear gloves.
Right.
You know,
she doesn't have your fucking number.
Yeah.
It's all good.
There's no.
It's all good.
There's no
number was exchanged.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was like, what's the big deal? So
You go into the MIB office to get your fingers burned off because you raped someone. And it flashy thing me, so I don't remember either. Then I'm not guilty because I don't know why I did
I
it.
passed the polygraph test just fine.
yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
The black and men.
Yeah. Yeah, there's. I mean, that's that's one of the things that just really just haunts me. Like, I mean, one time I was at a concert with a bunch of friends, and there was a girl there who I knew the guy that she was dating, but he wasn't there, and I didn't know that they'd been having problems. She like. It was cold. She like snuggled up to me and I put my arm around her thinking, oh, we're just friends. She's just being, she's cold or whatever. And then I was like, oh man, I could have just started groping and it would have been totally fine, because I found out later she was looking for somebody to cheat on her boyfriend with.
Dude. Why can't they just come right out with the information and be like, hey, I'm looking for someone to cheat on my boyfriend with.
Yeah. So I was like, "Oh, she's got a boyfriend. She's not coming on to
me." You know where you should go to meet a girl, Evangeline. Do you go there often?
Oh, there's a lot of
a couple times.
Putting their tit on your shoulder is part of being a waitress there.
Especially
you can't sit anywhere in that whole place without getting a tit on your shoulder like every 5 minutes.
Especially the type that you like, Josh. Yeah.
Hometown mamas.
They're flush
flompers.
They're flush
Southern
with flompers.
cooking, gravy bitches.
Yeah, gravy. Well, there's a lot of tatted up kind of alternatives.
They call you honey. They only call you honey or sweetie.
Yeah. There's a lot of alternatives.
Tip the shit out of them. Be like, look how rich I am.
I've always been self-conscious about being the guy who thinks the stripper's into him.
You could hold that over her head too. I saved you from Evangeline's. You were in the dish pit.
You were in the dish pit, bitch.
War-torn Evangeline's. You don't have to wait tables anymore now.
I mean, the fact of the matter is, Donnie, the only real option is getting one from church,
right?
And then trying to turn her off of church.
Yeah, I could probably do it. I did that with my first serious girlfriend. She was very, very religious, and by the end of it, she thought it was all bullshit, and that was all because of me.
I mean, going to church every Sunday is a small price to pay for getting that pussy the other 6 days of the week.
Dude, yeah. I honestly, man, I went to church with Kristen forever until 8 years ago when Miranda went,
She finally gave you anal and you're like, no, I don't have to go to church anymore.
I'm done.
That was the whole point.
That was the whole point. We finally got the anal.
I've graduated from church.
Done. I'm out of here.
You didn't know what it was. But
Catholic loophole.
It's a Catholic loophole. I did you in the pooper. This is over.
Can't be fruitful and multiply.
Why don't you want to go to church anymore?
You can't be fruitful and if you're doing it in the poop hole, I don't know.
She's like, why don't you want to go to church on Mass anymore? And you're like, I can't tell you.
I can't tell you.
It doesn't. It's not you. It's me.
It's not you. It's the poop on my dick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like what are you gonna do? You're not gonna meet a girl at a bar. You're not gonna meet a girl at a bar. You're gonna meet a girl in the apps. You're not gonna meet a girl in the fucking apps.
The apps are worse now than they were ever been. I've had luck with the apps in years past.
Yeah.
But now it's so scammy and AI and to keep you on there. And I don't know if you've seen any of the statistics about like the percentage of women that swipe left versus swiping right and all that kind of stuff.
What does that mean?
Basically,
exactly.
Basically, especially if she's at all attractive, women are constantly rejecting and guys are constantly saying yes.
Yeah.
So the odds
women
get constant anyone they want to match with, they match with.
Right.
And men can never get matched.
Right.
I mean, there's a tiny, tiny upper crust of men who have like really good pictures or whatever. They can just it comes through that they do get a lot of swipes or whatever on. But the numbers game is so out of balance on any of these.
You should start doing stand-up again. We'll just write you a whole act about how much you hate women and how big your dick is.
Yeah.
And just talk to the girls on the front row.
Done.
Yeah. And they'll follow you.
Out of any
confidence, sense of humor.
Out of any creative endeavor, comedy is probably the
least
worst one to try to get pussy from.
Start a fucking band.
Like
seriously,
start a band. All you have to do is start a band.
All you have to do is start a band.
Yeah,
you already know. You already know the right chords.
Yeah.
You're basically there.
Oh, the most common way is at work or at church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But work's rough too because then you're
not allowed to do it anymore.
Fucking a chick at work.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I can hear your pussy whistling from across the office. Yeah. Can you keep that noise out of my cubicles?
Josh, would you fuck any chicks at work if you were married? Is there a chick at work you'd fuck?
He'd hate fuck the one who is trying to torpedo his entire career.
Yeah, I hate being there already, so I'm so miserable in that building that I hate everyone in it.
Hey, have you ever had a job that you liked? No.
I've seen some that I think I would like, but they don't pay anything. I like to hang out at Half Price Books all day.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna make enough
money. Or like end of an year.
No.
Then my kids will starve, but I'll be happy.
Yeah.
That's what's important.
You could make up to $9.50 an hour there. Probably.
Man, I'm fucking.
No, Signorama was rad. I liked Signorama. I like little sign shops when I worked at those, but that was like tires basically, just talking shit all day and making stuff.
Right.
Those are rad.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised. Jacob was telling us that did you say Chick-fil-A was $16 or $16.50 an hour?
Yeah, Chick-fil-A is always kind of paid pretty well.
Lifeguards make 21, 22.
Bro, I know.
And you have a foot in the door with the city forever. I know. You never have to look for a job again.
And he's in really good shape. He's just sit out there all day long.
Ass soup.
Yeah, I know. I told him.
Girls will put their nipples in your butthole if you ask them to.
Dude, it's just
what you're into.
It's just so infuriating. The whole fucking
chicks will fuck you like a dude.
Yeah.
They won't kiss.
The whole endeavor has been so fucking annoying trying to get this kid to get a job. And last night, Kristen's like, "You are pressuring him too much." I'm like, "Dude, what?"
I'll stop if he gets a job. I'll stop.
Yeah, I was like, "What is too much?"
There's such an easy way to make all of this go away.
Me saying, "Hey, bro." How did the job search go today? Like, I mean, Donnie, you see how I am with the kid. You've both seen how I am with him.
What is it you would say it is that you do around here?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's never been more clear to me that, like, Kristen feels like when I'm talking to him about getting a job, I'm talking directly to her about getting a job, which maybe I am.
Yeah, nice.
Maybe
yelling at the dog that she's a smart bitch.
Yeah, yeah.
What a smart little bitch.
You're a smart little bitch.
You're taking small bites of food, but not to refill your bowl so often. What a smart little skinny little bitch you are. Wow.
Everyone should be like you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Great example you're setting for humanity.
Dude, last night was so fucking nuts. Like, I don't even know what the fuck. Like, she's like, "You were so quiet at dinner." I'm like, yeah, it's because I fucking worked all day. You know,
I used all my charisma up making money.
I used all my charisma up doing the fucking job, and then after dinner,
sorry, I'm not the Riz Lord at dinner.
I sat with him for 3 fucking hours working on job applications and writing letters of cover letters and writing little responses to the Tomlinsons.
And now she's not talking to you, so you can be like, "You're so quiet for the last week."
Yeah.
The house was so quiet of a place for me to be.
I'm eating this up.
I love when they don't talk to you.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't have to hear women.
Dude,
don't throw me in the briar patch,
please.
Yeah, I'm 100% fine.
Yeah.
With watching some reruns of Eastbound and Down.
Or whatever you want.
Or whatever I want.
I like it when women decide that the inside of your head is wrong.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
You know, is this that meme where she's like, "I wonder if he's thinking about other girls and he's thinking about something completely different."
Yeah, totally.
You know?
Yeah.
My daughter asked me to open a pickle jar for her. And of course, I can't.
Why can't
open a pickle jar for a woman without saying something.
Okay. I thought you couldn't actually open it. I'm like, is something wrong with your fucking hands
and opened it, and I was like, "I'm strong and independent, aren't you?" She was like, "That sounds like something someone on a male podcast would say."
A male podcast?
I was like, "Is that a thing? Is that a thing that people say that you're talking like a guy?" Yes. I'm on a male podcast.
You are on a male podcast.
Why do you think it is that there's so many male podcasts right now, and men feel like they need to say something? Nothing happens without because of not of a reaction.
Yeah, I'm sorry we don't talk about astrology and fantasizing about being murdered.
Yeah, and your retarded kids being able to talk to each other. I've come to your side on this.
Yeah.
Your retarded kids.
So yeah, I guess we need to get into the telepathy taste. Because I think the last episode that you were on, we started talking about it. We said that was our homework.
Right.
So I made it into the 3rd episode before I finally had to stop listening to it.
You couldn't do it.
I knew I watched a 2-minute YouTube video and I was like, "Fuck this."
I knew
you don't get to say anything about it. Turn
notes.
Turn Josh's mic off. You didn't listen to any of it.
Cut his mic. Cut his mic. Within 5 minutes of listening to it, I knew exactly what it was. It was basically crystal healing. It was the kind of like. Oh, it was woo. You know the term woo. It was people swearing up and down that this experiment proves this or whatever. But it's all coming to you from one person who is the narrator of the whole thing, cutting in clips and describing the things that she's seeing to you, taking people's word at face value and just believing them immediately, and then any defense I've seen of it is people just basically believing it, and then any criticism I've seen of it, it's the James Randi stuff that you know James Randi is, right?
So.
He the James Randi Foundation. He was a magician who for years had the Randi Foundation Challenge, which is basically like if you can demonstrate some type of paranormal ability, we will pay you $1 million. But you have to prove it according to our laboratory standards.
Okay, yeah.
No one's ever done it. All the psychics and all the people who say that they can move things with their mind and the Uri Geller bending spoons and all that.
Yeah.
No one has ever been able to conclusively show that they can do these things. And
stock tips, lottery number, World Series. It's just someone holding a sign behind you with a letter on it. That's the most useless superpower. Guess me a good number that I can win with.
Are you referring to something that you saw in
the
your
psychic kids that they were showing them guessing the number?
2-minute video.
Yeah.
Well,
it's like having Tourette's and only being able to say not swears.
Yeah.
Fireplug.
Yeah.
And
have a cool power.
Well, and this kind of stuff it's also something that's been around for at least 30 or 40 years, and every few years there's a resurgence of them saying it. It's called facilitated communication. It's basically, according to all the evidence that we're able to see, the person, the parent, or the person who they're doing it with is telling them what to say somehow.
The power of suggestion.
Yeah.
So I'm not in total disagreement here. Me and you started to talk about this, and then we said let's save it for the podcast. The thing that I was curious about, and Josh, you don't know because you didn't listen to it.
You said the show was interesting, and you were correct. You're very interesting.
Okay, so
I agree.
Okay, so
they got me with the 2-minute thing. I'll probably watch more.
Okay, all right.
But I like the video. I like to see them.
Yeah, I like the videos too.
So Frontline did a documentary about this facilitated communication stuff in 1993. Sorry, I just pulled up actually the episode.
93 horns.
Called Prisoners of Silence. Autism Facilitated Communication. So Frontline did stuff on this in 93.
Yeah.
And back then they were like, it's actually the person who's not the autistic kid who's telling the autistic kid what to, or giving them subtle cues on what to point to get the thing or whatever.
So you don't think, this was the thing that I was curious about, all of the whether or not they can communicate with someone else who's like, across the town or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's take that off the table. You don't think that the nonverbal autistic folks could even communicate on their boards that they have without someone doing something to them to make them...
I don't know about that. So what I was thinking is that maybe if they want to communicate of their own volition, they can do it or they will do it. But whenever it's time, okay, what's mommy thinking? Point to what mommy's picturing in her head. Spell out what the word that mommy's thinking of. That part of it is they're definitely getting some type of cue from the parent that's not telepathy or whatever.
My point about the whole thing was that even if the only thing that comes out of this is that people who we thought had no ability to communicate at all are actually able to communicate through tools.
Yeah,
that's actually an amazing breakthrough. I think that's
a Minority Report.
Again, it's one of crimes. It's one of those.
Shave their head, put them in a tank, give them Tom Cruise. They can stop crime.
Yeah. It's one of those. I think that they've always been able to communicate on their own. They're just nonverbal. They can't talk or like like that all the time or whatever. But they have something where they can point out like a word that they want to say or something. I don't think these are people who are completely incapable of communication at all. They're just nonverbal.
Well, but I'm just knowing folks who are like that.
Yeah.
I know not a lot, but I know 4 nonverbal autistic people who can't communicate.
How many illegal immigrants have you met?
Yeah.
And you know 4 nonverbals?
Well, I have 2 cousins.
You're so diverse.
He's from California.
I have 2 cousins.
I'm proud of myself for knowing
everybody's
you.
Everybody's either autistic or illegal in California.
Or gay. So basically in those 3 Venn diagrams, like it covers.
So all he sees is nonverbal autistic people, dudes kissing.
Yeah.
When you put the mental health spectrum against the trans flag, it makes it plaid.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's a tartan.
Yeah.
But so you do know people, know people who have family members who cannot communicate.
Well,
anything
I have two cousins who are completely nonverbal. I think I told you when my aunt died, she was the one who had 3 autistic kids. 2 of them are nonverbal.
Okay.
So you can say retard because you have a
I can say retard because I am a retard.
You can say the N word because I have a black friend.
I can say retard. When you are one, you can say the thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, and neither of them can communicate in. Well, again, neither of them can communicate in any way that like is external that we like know about.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, what about but they can do things that when they're hungry, they can communicate that they're hungry.
All of a sudden,
eat, right?
you speak English when you're getting pulled over.
They'll go to the kitchen or something like that, or point at food, but like. They can't like say I want a piece of pizza or something like that. They can't say like I would prefer steak right now or something like that.
Well, obviously they can't say those things. But
no, but even in
say,
any,
can I borrow a feeling? That means I want pizza.
You're not walking right.
My socks hurt.
Yeah.
That means I love you.
Luann. They don't have any way of communicating like in a like a kind of a fine sense, right? Like they can
but yes, there are those people who exist. We still don't know that the people in the documentary are like that, right? Because all we're getting is the host of the podcast telling us about these people.
Like proving God. You can't, the burden of proof is upon the accuser.
Yeah. So I mean, I come at this kind of stuff the way I come at my job. What verifiable facts can I confirm in this in this specific case? Right?
Donnie, have you ever been scammed by anything? Have you ever fallen for any scam? You two seem too aware of scams.
I'm probably making up for my fucking mom.
Taken for a ride.
My mom
victim of every scam.
Yeah. She's multiple level.
She still has an AOL.com.
She was in Mary Kay. She was in this other one, cleaning products. Like it's all multi-level marketing.
Cut code, knives, selling M&Ms,
Herbalife,
doTERRA, the fucking
essential oils. doTERRA's the best one.
And they just fell for a fucking. I told you they fell for a goddamn. Timeshare.
Again, everything is a reaction.
Hey, but you're benefiting from the timeshare.
Yeah, I'm actually benefiting from the timeshare because I'm going to Hawaii in a month and a half.
I mean, it never
2 months.
It never is worth it for the person who's paying, but it's totally worth it for the person who just gets to glom on and go to the fucking thing.
You never want to be the guy who owns a boat. You want to be the guy who's friends with the guy who owns the boat.
Absolutely.
You show up with this is the old Bill Burr. You show up with a 12-pack of beer and you say, "Let's go.
Yeah,
let's get on your boat that you have to maintain and pay for and insure."
Put gas in and
Did you hear the story about my dad selling timeshares?
No. Oh, no.
The code.
So. Oh yes. Yeah.
You're not allowed to use a code for black people, so they just put the word code with a blank next to it, and that was the code. Because they never paid for the timeshare, and they defaulted everything.
That's right.
Well, it's racist to say this is a black house, and you can't use any codes, so they just wrote the word CODE : blank in red.
Josh's dad is the master of systemic racism.
Yeah,
between that and the kiss of death and all that. But I don't know. I fell in. Do you? Do thinking a girl likes me and then finding out that she doesn't, is that falling for a scam?
I mean,
it's a scam in its own right. Yeah.
I don't know. I probably.
But 80% of dudes have had that happen. You're not dumb for that.
Oh, I bought a TV from Cons.
Okay.
Which is hilarious. The
What's
name
Cons?
Predatory
Cons
lending.
is one of those. It's not quite rent to own, but it's one of those like
furniture to go.
Oh yeah, we will. We can finance a TV for you. And this was so I bought.
So on the nose, the name is Con.
Yeah.
CONN.
Yeah.
I've seen that before. Yeah.
I bought my first HD TV. I bought like a 50-inch like Sony HD TV.
Yeah, you deserve 1080p.
It was probably
2007.
it was probably a $3,000 TV, and I think I probably paid something like $4,800 total for it because of the goddamn interest or whatever. I was dumb. I was.
You still
20.
got to have the TV. You didn't get taken for a.
But
ride.
it's still any of that kind of stuff is a scam where you're spending like paying way
it's
more.
not like the Music Man where the shit
you want
never
it right
shows
now.
up.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you paid for. You got to have it.
Yeah, I got scammed. I went to college.
Yeah. God damn it.
Student loans.
Dude,
that shit was a scam.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you and I both
Yeah.
spent the first 20 years of our life in church.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got scammed. The ultimate scam. Yeah.
That 10% of your
Yeah.
freaking
You're over here going to mass for
my
pussy.
parents'
Don't
money.
lie.
Yeah.
Oh no! Wait, no.
Or for anal. Sorry.
I absolutely, at like probably 8 or 9, I was like, "Mom, this doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
Something seems weird about this." And she's like, "How dare you? Don't ever question this." And I was like, "Oh, that's how I know, because you're fucking."
Yeah. Because of your reaction. Methinks the lady doth protest
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
I was over it almost immediately being like old enough to like kind of know what was going on. I was over it. And then it was like all I wanted to do was try to like get my fingers in some snatch.
So you developed critical thinking before like the age of 12. It's usually when the brain develops the ability to doubt systems.
I was done with it. I would go, but it was to go.
There's a lot of hot girls.
to look at girls.
Church,
Yeah.
As early as I can remember in church, I was like, "Oh, this is all made up."
Yeah.
Or this is dragons and wizards and shit. Even whenever I got baptized when I was 8, I still was like, I don't think this is real. You know, of course, my parents were so happy and all that and everything.
That's what took me long. I was like, is this dumb? Are my parents dumb?
Yeah.
It's like,
They can't-
a
we can't-
talking snake?
They can't
Everyone
be dumb.
here can't be. These are my friends.
Not everyone here has
are
been
all
duped,
my friends
right?
fucking stupid?
A guy who loses his superpowers when his hair gets cut?
Right.
You know, and then of course the guy died and came back to life 3 days later. You know, that kind of stuff. And then pretty quick, I was the guy who sat in the back row at youth group, just going bullshit at the things that the youth pastor said. You know,
Dude, I think it's a little bit different for Catholics because I honestly don't think most Catholics in Mass believe in any of that stuff. I think it's just a cultural thing.
Catholics
You're
are the
saying
Jews
in
of
mass or
Christians.
on mass? As a
in mass or on mass?
In Mass, on the Mass.
on the whole, as a group, or
No,
in
no.
this
In-
building
in-
during the time?
in the building during the time. I think most of the people there, well,
They were killed in Mass.
In Mass, on Mass, yeah. I think most of them were just like, yeah, this is what we do every Sunday. We come to this thing, we do this thing. They don't talk about God outside of church. Like, I never met Catholics ever, or very rarely at least, who were like, hey, like, let's go to a Bible study. Hey, let's like do another thing. They would just do the 1 hour thing. They would go. They wouldn't talk about it outside of it. They wouldn't go to special things. They wouldn't even talk to their kids about
If
it.
you want to round up some illegals,
Yeah.
Catholic
Yeah.
Church.
I bet you
Well,
can
yeah,
find
yeah,
them all
you-
on Sunday.
There's probably a lot of Catholics though that are like, my favorite is Awana 3:16 is
Yeah.
the best Bible
I mean,
verse.
I'm actually
I
taking
read it
asylum.
every night to my family.
You're asking how I know so many fucking illegals.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, I was a Catholic in Southern
Dude, I went to-
California.
I
These
went
little
to,
boys deserve to stay in my building forever. They never have to leave. They're on asylum.
Yeah.
They've been granted asylum by the
Yeah,
cardinal.
by the cardinal. Yeah.
the girl that I moved down here with was Catholic,
Mm.
and at one point, I mean, she didn't ever go, but at one point, I guess she kind of started to maybe kind of want to go. So I went to the Catholic church in San Marcos when we lived down there with her and her sisters, and there was a special priest or a visiting priest from Mexico, and so he basically gave like a 12, 13-minute sermon in Spanish, and I was like, I know some of these words,
Yeah.
I'd taken some Spanish, but I couldn't follow it or anything. But I took the freaking I
The
took
Eucharist.
the
You're not supposed
Eucharist
to
and I'm
do
not
it,
supposed
yeah.
to. I broke
Put
the
holy water.
rules.
You cursed
Oh,
the holy water.
you know, like Miranda now, like is super judgmental of me if I like go to because we went at Easter.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You're not supposed to take the host if you haven't had confession." I'm
Yeah,
like,
being trans is a religion. Being religious is a religion. She likes these systems.
"Oh, dude, absolutely no." Like,
Are they like the? I'm sorry,
no, it's she's a she now. Yeah,
y'all.
yeah, y'all means all.
Speaking of the power of suggestion, my wife does this thing, and I want to know if your wife does it too.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
I got these. I went to Sprouts and I went BOGO crazy. They're having a BOGO, so I grabbed all the BOGO stuff to try to save money because Sprouts is expensive.
Yeah.
So I got these chicharrones, whatever, pork rinds.
Chicharrones.
They're barbecue pork rinds.
I love that,
But they're
yeah.
from Sprouts, so they can't be good because Sprouts doesn't sell dirtbag food.
Yeah, right. I see.
How
Yeah.
fucking
It's a healthy
hilarious would it
store.
be to like swap out the Eucharist with the chicharron?
Like, God damn, the body of
This
Christ
is-
is good today.
This is
That's
Christ's
some long pig.
frijole foreskin.
Yeah.
We fried it
Oh.
in an air fryer, so it poofs.
Ay, cabrón. So you get the chicharrones.
So I brought home 2 bags of these barbecue Sprouts chicharrones. My wife opened one. I was like, "Did you like those?" Because she always gets those fucking Funyuns or whatever.
Oh, Funyuns. Yeah.
And the other shitty one, she brought it over here. There's gross. It's fried nothing. It's just batter.
Yeah.
It's not. There's no onion in there.
What's the thing? Like, what's the thing you're frying? It can't just be batter.
Yeah. So I mean, chicharrones, I guess, is pigskin, whatever. They're pork rinds. So she opened the bag, and I said, "Hey, did you like those?" And she said, "No, I didn't like them because they smelled like a fart."
Yeah, sometimes they do smell like a fart.
And I looked at the receipt, and I was like, "This is $8 for these 2." Like, that's why it's BOGO, because they mark everything.
They marked everything up, so it's like the price.
Yeah, so
it's just the price of 2.
$6.97 plus tax.
Yeah,
It's like up near 8 for 2 of them.
Yeah.
Right.
So I took it to work. I was like, "Fuck her! I'm not going to let the power of suggestion stop me from saving money on groceries."
Yeah.
So I took the chicharrones to work, and I was like, "I'm going to open. I'm not going to smell it." Because then she'll get me with the power of suggestion.
Right.
Because she already said they smell like a fart.
Right.
So if I just open it and don't smell it, but your brain makes you smell stuff.
The power of suggestion.
Yeah. Like I can't. If someone says something smells, I can't not be like.
Well, Josh, I feel like you know that this is the case because I think I've told you my Anchorman story. How like
I spitefully ate a bag of farts all day at work.
Oh,
it smelled horrible.
Whoa, okay. So,
so
actually,
the whole bite, I was like, "Fuck her."
Are you asking me if she does that
If
to
your
me,
wife
or
tells you-
or if I fall victim to the power of suggestion? Because yes, both. I
Well,
mean,
your
really.
wife is the one closest to you, and she can say something tastes like something else.
Yeah.
And then that gets into your earworm, and it takes over.
I don't know, dude. She hates the smell of kimchi. She fucking hates it. And so anytime I open the kimchi, she's like, "Oh my God," like she could smell it from the other room.
Performatively. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like, "Oh, I smell fucking kimchi. It's gross." And I'm like, I don't care.
It's time for the wife show.
I love the
Ba-da-ba-da-ba.
Yeah.
Here we go. Running around trying to grab her tits.
So I don't know. Like there are not taste, but the whole Anchorman thing. Like we watched Anchorman together, and the whole time she's like, "This is dumb.
Yeah.
I hate this." And I was like, "Yeah, this is dumb. I hate it too." But I have a feeling if I really watched Anchorman, I probably would really like it. Almost everyone I know who likes comedy movies, who I trust their opinion, has seen Anchorman and said that it's great.
There's
Have
stuff
you,
like that
wait,
that
have you
I'll
not
laugh out
seen it
loud
or
at.
only watched it with her? And
I've
her,
only
like,
watched it
her,
with
That's
her.
not funny. Like rubbed off on you.
And her "That's not funny" rubbed off
Oh
on me.
man, that sucks.
I've noticed that I'll laugh out loud more watching something with my wife than if I was alone, to try to get her into it,
Right, sure, I'll do
to
that
share
too.
the moment. Like I wouldn't laugh out loud at this if it wasn't someone else in the room.
Right,
So I'm a performative faggot too.
yeah.
We're all. Oh, so speaking of wives, my wife's talking to the neighbor lady, and she said the neighbor lady gave her too much information about herself. She was asking her about vaginal dryness.
Vaginal dryness.
I can't see this
Okay.
lady now outside without thinking about the fucking dust bowl.
Yeah.
Right. The Dust Bowl. The
They
Dust
fucking lost
Slate.
a lot of good men out there that year in the harvest.
What? The neighbor's really talking to your wife about vaginal dryness?
Yeah, and then she has to fucking talk to me about it, and I'm like, "Honey, I'm experiencing penile dryness. I need to get it wet.
Yeah.
I'm having a men problem. Does anybody care about men's problems?
Yeah.
My penis is having dryness.
Right. Fucking get this bitch soaked.
Yeah, I need some sort of. You con your wife into that you have a skin problem where your dick just always has to be wet.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
I have a weird form of
need to be
eczema where it
lubricated.
always has to be moisturized
I'm
with
gonna con her into
saliva
getting my
is
dick
the
wet.
only
With
answer.
deep throat saliva.
Yeah.
Very, very
Yeah.
deep. in
Yeah,
the throat
mucus and
saliva.
Right.
phlegm.
It's not, that's stuff right on the tip of your tongue. That's not
Yeah.
gonna work.
Yeah.
You need to work it back there.
The
lady.
cocaine throat drip.
Yeah.
That's the good stuff.
Oh, that's a pleasant sound. Yeah.
The neighbor gave me some drugs the other day.
That's nice.
We ended up we were over here, Donnie's, and then he texted, and I was like, well, let's be respectful to Donnie's bedtime. This guy wants to party at 10. We can wrap it up with Donnie and go to this guy's house.
Yeah.
Donnie got to go to bed at a normal hour, and we went and continued partying with my neighbor. Usually we sit in the garage and have beers or in the backyard and play with the dogs, but he was like, come into my room and look at all my records. I was like, fuck yeah, that's my favorite thing to do. I just went through all his records, and then he started putting lines on the top of the record player, and I was like, I can't change the record now until I get rid of all this mess on top of the record player.
Right.
And then he put some blue powder in his hand, and he was like, "Here, have this," and I just licked his hand.
Oh, gross.
And then the next day, my wife was like, "You need to go back over there and get some more of that," because when we came home, it was an awesome time. So I was like, "Dude, what is that?" And he was like, "I can't tell you." And I was like, "I need to know what it is."
I put it in my body.
Yeah.
But he like bar backs at Lollapalooza and like all the venues downtown.
Yeah.
So he's just like a cool hipster. He just gets little pinches of drugs.
Okay.
Here. So I don't know. I don't know what the kids are into these days. It may have been fentanyl.
Yeah.
But it was an awesome sex drug.
Oh, that's
We
great.
had a cool sex time.
Yeah.
And now we want to know what it was, and he won't tell me.
So, Josh, you're telling me about these health problems. Can we talk about it here?
Yeah.
Or is that verboten?
Yeah, what
here?
explodes first? His
Macular.
eyeball, his heart,
Yeah.
his dick?
So you're telling us about like these potential heart problems and this dietary shit. Are you gonna give up the fucking Coke as
Dude.
part of the thing?
I probably party at max 2 nights a week, if I'm lucky.
That's a lot.
That's not a lot.
You're
That
when
is
you're
a lot.
48. Yeah.
No, I
That's
don't
a
do
lot.
Coke 2 nights a week.
Even
But
like
I drink.
Yeah, drinking 7 or 8 beers. Or did you say that you only get buzzed at 8 beers?
No, not anymore. Now that I've gotten it down to 2 nights a week, it's like 4.
Well, but
That's a lot.
do you only have 4? Because I know that every time you guys come over here, there's at least 7 or 8
Yeah, well, we're celebrating.
per. Yeah, this is now this now. Actually, you know what? If you want to hear this intervention that we're going to have on Josh, you need to go to our YouTube channel, the God Awful Entertainment YouTube, because we are going to switch over to a stream now. And Chris can even hang out for a little bit of the stream because we're getting done a little bit early today.
Yes.
So we're going to switch over to a stream. That's the episode. Sorry, it's
I'm going to
been a couple
not get
weeks.
another beer, I guess.
We will.
My bad.
We will talk to you soon. I swear we're going to post episodes more regularly. But yeah, go to the YouTube channel and do all that stuff. Thanks. Bye.